Can't believe Thanksgiving's come and gone. We're all fattened up, ready for winter hibernation.
Dude, the fucking hibernation ain't come fast now. Well, that snow came in. It's all the way time to hibernate here, boy.
Yeah, I was in Ohio between snowstorms, and we flew out on Monday. I think we flew out at a good time. We kind of avoided the delays and everything like that. So
the wife was like, "We're supposed to get snow. We're supposed to get snow," and it's like it's first day of December, right? And I'm like, never snows first that early. It'll never. It's like no way.
Yeah.
Dude, we woke up to a legit 4 inches of snow. I was like, "You've got to be shitting me." So,
well, who knows? Maybe next week it'll be in the 60s. Ohio weather.
Yeah, I wish.
All right. Well, we got 2 weeks of stuff to go over here since we were off last week for the holiday.
For Gobble Gobble Day.
Yeah, some big races took place, and we got quite a few FKTs as well.
Yeah, so some cool ones too. Some really cool ones.
Yeah, definitely some that caught my eye that are unique. So looking forward to going over those. We're going to start with JFK 50 miler. It was the 63rd year for JFK 50. I think it's definitely the oldest 50 miler, maybe the oldest
ultra.
Yeah. No, that sounds right.
Yeah.
And starts in Boonesboro, Maryland. The first 15 miles of that race are the hardest part, I would say. That's the part that's up in the Appalachian Trail, and I think there's maybe 3,500 feet of climbing in there or something, and that's probably the hardest part, because after that you hit a towpath for quite a few miles till mile 41.
Yeah.
Or 42, and then you're on rolling country roads the rest of the way. So
country roads, take me home.
So once you get out of the Appalachian Trail, it's like wheels in motion. And I will say that Hans Troyer, the young gun out of Georgia, he brought his wheels and he put them on.
He did great. He did great.
So David Sinclair, who set the record at JFK 50 last year in 2024, he was in the lead when they got out of the Appalachian Trail at that aid station at mile 15. And he did a shoe change. I guess that's pretty common to do a shoe change at that aid station, because that's where you're on, non-technical runnable surfaces the rest of the way. So he did the shoe change. I guess you have wet feet too. But he did the shoe change. Hans Troyer, he opted not to do the shoe change, and I think it really worked out well for him.
Said deuces.
He says, "See ya," and he was just gone. So he took the lead right after that aid station. He took the lead and he didn't look back. David Sinclair ended up getting second, but Hans Troyer finished in 5 hours and 10 minutes. That's the second fastest time.
That's crazy. That's
JFK
crazy.
50. And Sinclair from last year was the only time that was faster. Sinclair held on to second place in 5 hours and 18 minutes. And Stephen Kirsch crossed the line. He almost caught Sinclair. He crossed the line 25 seconds behind Sinclair, 5:18:31. And for the women, it was a hell of a battle between Jade Belsberg and Shea Aquilano. They were within seconds of each other for most of the race until mile 41.8. Once they hit those rolling country roads at the end of the towpath, Belsberg opened up a small gap for the last 8.4 miles. And she finished in 6 hours and 7 minutes, which is the fourth fastest time in race history. And Shea Aquilano finished less than 2 minutes back in second place in 6 hours and 9 minutes. And Hannah Allgood rounded out the podium for the women in 6 hours and 15 minutes. But that race was live streamed, and it was pretty fun to follow. Like they had just cameras at the aid stations for most of it. They did have some people on bikes following on the towpath, and they had some drone footage on the country roads, which was cool.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It's kind of looks like a fun 50 miler, just because there's so many. There's like over 1,000 people. It's like the longest running ultra in the United States, and it's the largest ultra in the United States. So
yeah, it's always on that that one report that Ultra Running Magazine, I think, is that who does that? That looks back on the month. Yeah, it's always on that. It's huge.
Yeah, it's definitely definitely a very big deal. Lots of fast people, so lots of runners, period. But the other race that took place a couple weekends ago that was pretty high profile was the Ultra Trail Cape Town 100K over in South Africa. And this was a part of the World Trail Majors, and it's the last event of the 2025 World Trail Majors. And for the women, Sunmaya Buddha from Nepal, she just dominated. 2 months ago, she took second place at the Trail World Championships long trail race, which was super technical. And she went on to win Ultra Trail Cape Town in 12 hours and 25 minutes. This is a really tough race. It has over 15,000 feet of climbing. The course is pretty technical from my understanding. So congrats to Samaya. She rocked it. And over an hour later was second place, Antonia Lucina. And she was 13:33. And Tara Fraga from the U.S. was third place, round out the podium in 13:47. Nicole Bitter and Rosanna Bouchauer were pre-race challengers, but they dropped out. Alyssa Clark from the U.S. got fourth, and Sarah Humble from the U.S. got fifth. So it was a pretty good showing from U.S. runners over there. And for the women, they got third, fourth, and fifth place. In the men's race, Dmitry Mityev, who had dropped from 3 straight races, he had a 4-minute lead with 20K to go. And then Jeff Magavero from the U.S., he overtook Dmitry Mityev and went from third to first over the final climb and descent. So he won overall in 11:04. Mityev was second in 11:05. So it's like really close for those two on that descent, 31 seconds apart. And Matthew Healy from South Africa was third in 11:11. The U.S. had 2 runners inside the top 5. Chris Myers didn't finish. Chris Myers got second at Western States. But yeah, Jeff Magavero was first, and Grant Barnett for the U.S. was fifth. Nothing changed for the World Trail Major rankings. Caleb Olson, who we talked about last episode, who won the Grampians Peaks Trail 100 in Australia, cemented his win for the World Trail Majors and got $12,000 for the World Trail Majors point victory. And for the women in the World Trail Majors, Sunmaya Buddha, with this win at Ultra Trail Cape Town, she won the World Trail Majors. That and her win at the Hong Kong 100K. So she got 12,000 euros as well for winning the World Trail Majors.
That's a nice haul.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's sponsors that pay for the travel. And yeah, well, congrats to them. They earned it. It's not an easy thing to do. All right, let's talk about Quad Dipsea, which happened last weekend. It's always the Saturday after Thanksgiving, so I will never be able to do it as long as the Ohio State-Michigan football game is on that day. But it is a crazy race, right? The Dipsea Trail is 7 miles long from Mill Valley to Stinson Beach, and there's a lot of climbing in this trail. And Quad Dipsea, you do out, back, and there's a lot of steps on this trail too, mostly on the Mill Valley side, but there are some descending down into Stinson Beach as well. But there's over 9,000 feet of climbing in 28 miles in the Quad Dipsea. So it's
that is aggressive.
It's pretty stout, which leads me to wonder how it's possible for these winning times.
Oh, dude.
Nick Handel won for overall and for the men and set the course record 3 hours and 39 minutes.
Fucking blistering.
How is that possible with over 9,000 feet of climbing? I mean, it's not a 50K distance, but still it's 28 very very difficult miles. I mean, there is some smooth running in there too, but I would say it's like maybe more technical than smooth running. But anyways, blistering fast time. Meghan Roche won for the women, and she also set a course record in 4 hours and 35 minutes for the quad Dipsea. So congrats to them. And also 2 weekends ago was the Fat Ox. Fat Ox race is something that Aravaipa puts on. It's like a loop course, and it's in Buckeye, Arizona. And this year, Fat Ox 24-hour was the USATF 24-hour championships. So $1,200 to the winners, and the winners were Paulina Hodnett for the women with 117.6 miles, and Scott Traer won for the men in 137.4 miles at Fat Ox. All right, you ready to jump into some FKTs?
Dude, these are such fucking cool FKTs.
Yeah. The first one is it's called the Trans-Bhutan Trail. This is something that there was a trail there, but 60 years ago they made a road, and it pretty much destroyed the trail. And this is a historic pathway that connects all the main cities of Bhutan, and it's been around for hundreds of years. And then so the Bhutan government invested thousands of hours and money into clearing and reconstructing the trail, and it was reopened for use in the fall of 2022. And it's marked with white blazes, but I did read the report for who we're about to talk about, and they did say there was one section where they had machetes. It was so overgrown and like not passable, and they ended up having a detour on a road for part of that. But mostly it was pretty good from what they said. So here's who did it: Anna Frost and Megan Hicks. So Megan Hicks is she's running the show over there at I Run Far, and Anna Frost from New Zealand, who's a great ultra runner, and they did it with a Bhutan national, this guy Dorji Rinzin. So this is the first known FKT, and it's done as a mixed gender team for this Bhutan trail, and they did it in 8 days, 11 hours, and 54 minutes. This is 426 kilometers long, with 22,527 meters of vert. So I am about to do some calculations here. 426 kilometer to miles. That's 265 miles.
All right. And then 265 miles, it is 73,907 feet of gain.
Damn.
Yeah. Leads.
So that's no joke. Yeah. So they did it in 8 days and 11 hours, 54 minutes. I did see an Instagram post from Meghan and Anna, and they looked like they're having a good time over there. So,
I mean, that's like, it took them 8 days. I mean, you know what I mean? Like it took them a minute. But you said it's 264 miles?
260, yeah, almost 265, yeah.
I mean that's a 50K a day. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong, it's a 50K a day, but there's also 73,000 feet of gain. But like,
yeah,
the cool thing about doing this kind of thing is like that's an enjoyable couple of days. You know what I mean? Like, especially for people as good as they are, for runners like them. Like, they can go out and knock out a 50K. And I mean, their worst 50K is probably still like 5 hours. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that was intentional. I think they meant to like make an adventure out of it.
Yeah. It would be so amazing to do that.
Yeah, for sure. I think I can't remember the details. I think they did have some troubles over there in the beginning. I'm not really sure. Don't quote me on that. But you know, they think they ended up having a good adventure. So
that's so fucking cool.
The next one we're going to talk about is the Mississippi River source to sea. We're talking about basically where the Mississippi River starts in the headwaters at Lake Itasca in Minnesota, and going 2,000 miles south to Venice, Louisiana, where the river meets the Gulf of Mexico. And that's 50,000 feet of gain in that 2,000 miles. It crosses 10 states.
Yeah.
And it's basically, I think it's a lot of road, but this is a first time FKT for this route. Greg Nance established it in 71 days, 12 hours, 3 minutes, and 23 seconds. So I'm sure this is something that maybe some other people will start looking at.
Dude, the starting point of the Mississippi looks really cool. Like, it looks really, really cool. Where you know what I mean? Like, I don't know what, for me, that's just a really,
it's a cool thing to think about, right? This is such a historic, massive river. Just to think about where it starts, you know.
Like that dude. That is just an insane amount of miles.
It is a lot of miles, and it's a lot of days too. 71 days. So, was he supported? Let's see.
It is labeled.
Supported.
Yeah.
I guess it would help to have support there.
I mean, what's funny is, like, to look at the difference. Yes, this is 2,000 miles, but it also only has 50,000 feet of gain.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, that's.
Yeah. I mean, not too bad, but still, I mean, still adds up.
Yeah.
Next one, we've talked about this one before, the Joshua Tree Traverse. It's 37 miles through Joshua Tree. And Helen, Mino, Faukner went out and set the unsupported FKT for the women. And she did that in 4 hours and 31 minutes and 16 seconds. beating Rachel Drake's time of 5 hours, 8 minutes, and 34 seconds. This is a pretty high-profile FKT. If you look down through the past people that have said it, it's like there's some huge names in there. So pretty interesting. There's no water on that route. So if you're doing it unsupported, you got to carry water for 37 miles.
I mean, that's just one big. I mean, you can get like a water bladder to get you through that, right? Like Ultra Aspire has those ones. Like one of my favorite vests is that Ultra Aspire that has the 2-liter water bladder in the back, and then like the bottles in the front. Like I mean,
yeah, I can fit 3 liters in mine, but I mean, yeah. If it's hot, it's just weather dependent, I think, in Joshua Tree. If it's cooler out, I think no problem. But if you get a hot day, you might want to rethink it.
And Joshua Tree stays kind of hot, right? Like even in dead of winter, it can be pretty warm out there, right?
Well, I mean, maybe during the day, like when the sun is shining hard. It gets cold at night, though. Even Death Valley gets gets cooler at night. It's pleasant during the day, 50s, 60s.
Pleasant.
Anyway, the last one is the Ouachita Trail, and this is in Oklahoma and Arkansas. It's 223 miles through the Ouachita Mountains, from Talamina State Park in Oklahoma to Pinnacle Mountain State Park in Arkansas. And we have Katie Gunvalson set the self-supported FKT in 3 days, 20 hours and 42 minutes. And that beat the old FKT by 3 days, or by like less than 2 hours. It was 3 days, 22 hours and 14 minutes and 55 seconds. So, and that's the female self-supported. So congrats to Katie.
I don't see another.
There's not another one listed, but the FKT email flyer that we get had that information. Oh, actually, no. She beat the supported. That's what it is. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It says, that's what it does say, faster than the previous supported time. So even though she was self-supported, she beat the supported time.
That's pretty fucking gangster when you can be self-supported and still beat a supported time.
That is gangster. Totally.
Pretty fucking gangster. That's fuck me.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, she's fucking getting after it, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. And one thing about FKTs that I want to mention that, sorry, we didn't catch this sooner, but there was a process to where you could nominate who you think should get FKT of the year. But the submission deadline was December 1st. So they have all the submissions in, and the FKT team and regional editors are narrowing down the list to get the top 5 FKTs of the year. And this is going to be announced at the end of the year. So, all right, let's move on to some news. David Horton gets inducted into the Ultra Running Hall of Fame. He's the 27th person to be inducted into the Ultra Running Hall of Fame. And I will say it's very well deserved. This guy is a freaking legend.
I mean, that one feels weird that it's taken this long, right? Like that, like what? Like that, like he's not the first inductee? Like what the fuck?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a total legend. They call him, he can be called the professor of ultra running because he does teach an endurance running class at the college that he works at. What was that? Is it Liberty University or something?
I thought he was at UNC Asheville because he runs that race. He has that race that he does out in Western North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
I thought it was UC Asheville. I hope it's not Liberty. God, I really hope it's not Liberty. Please don't be Liberty.
I think it is.
Golly,
It's like a Liberty University.
Oh, God damn it. Oh, man. That's
Well, just to go over some of his contributions to the support, he's done a lot, right? He's inspired a lot of people. He's brought hundreds of young people into the sport. He's finished more than 160 ultras and won at least 40 of them. He's second of only 20 people to have finished the Barkley Marathons. And that year he finished second. The other guy finished like just ahead of him. It was close, I'm pretty sure. And so essentially he was like, part of the first people to finish. He once held the fastest known time for the Appalachian Trail, the Pacific Crest Trail, and the Long Trail in Vermont. Started running as a college freshman in 1968. He joined the track team. He didn't start distance running until age 27 in 1977 when he was working on his doctorate in education at the University of Arkansas. Finished his first marathon in 3 hours and 23 minutes. Then he moved to Lynchburg in 1978, Lynchburg, Virginia, to teach at Liberty. Took up ultra running. He ran the JFK 50 and placed in 24th place out of 400. And that started his long association with that ultra marathon. He finished it 18 times, won it in 1985 in muddy conditions. He had 8 podium finishes at JFK 50. In 1983, he ran Western States and finished 9th. And he ran a road race with the fast time of 100-mile time of 14:26. Well, this is in 1986, so back then that was fast at Flushing Meadows. And he came in third to Giannis Kouros, who's one of the legends of distance running. He puts on various difficult ultra races. At Mountain Masochist 50 in 1983, he created Holiday Lake 50K in 1996, Promised Land 50K in 2000, and his crowning achievement race is Hellgate 100K.
Yeah.
And he started that in 2003. That's the one they start at night, and it's 100K. And it's usually in crappy weather, and it's a very tough race. So he got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and I encourage people to look up ultrarunningshistory.com website and go to the Ultra Running Hall of Fame section of the website. You can see all the different people that got inducted, and you can click on them and you can read all about their accomplishments. And shout out to Davey Crockett, who runs the Ultra Running History website and podcasts and writes books. And he also runs the Ultra Running Hall of Fame. So shout out to him for doing all this stuff in his free time. And he's still out there getting it done, doing races and stuff too. So, all right. The IAU 50K World Championships was supposed to be this weekend, December 7th in New Delhi, India, but it got postponed until March 14th due to air quality concerns, which air quality generally gets really bad this time of year there anyways. So I'm not really sure why they chose to have it there in December to begin with, but it is postponed until March 14th. Hope the air quality clears up for them. Next story is kind of interesting. Charlie Lawrence, I got to pull this up. Charlie Lawrence, who is the current 50-mile world record holder, has basically called his shot. He he declared that he's going for a sub 6 hour 100K across the years, or I'm sorry, at Desert Solstice. Desert Solstice is an invite only Aravaipa race where a few elite runners go to run around. I think they go around a track, and he's gonna try to set the world record in the 100K, and he's pretty confident that he can do it. So it'll be cool to watch. Desert Solstice, which is on December 20th. Charlie Lawrence is going for sub 6.
Did you click through that little slideshow right there that's on there? He's gotten semi close. He ran a non-ratifiable 6:03:47 100K in August.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, that's batshit crazy.
Yep. The current American 100K record is 6 hours and 9 minutes by Jim Walmsley in 2021. Yeah. The current world 100K record is 6 hours and 5 minutes by Alexander Sorokin, who is just a beast.
Yeah.
So it sounds like, yeah, you're right. He's already beat it, but it's just non-ratifiable. So he's going for gusto.
Yeah, it's great. I love the fact that he's like, yeah, ultimately the slide you're on right there. Yeah, ultimately the goal is to get the sub 6, but like, worst that might happen, I just hold on and beat Jim's record. Like, what the fuck? Like, what a comment.
That's having a bad day as he beats the American record.
Maybe I'll hold on. Maybe I'll hold on to get that. I mean, like, right. I love the level of like eliteness of some of these dudes where it's like,
yeah. Crazy. And this is going to be live streamed, by the way, of course. Aravaipa Mountain Outpost. It's going to be on YouTube and on December 20th. So the last news we want to go over is that the lotteries for Western States and Hardrock are this weekend. And
go Chaz.
Go Chaz.
Adams.
Thoughts and prayers.
T's and P's. T's and P's.
Really quickly, just to go over, we thought we might be live streaming Saturday, but I think we're gonna hold off on that. But just to go over some of the odds for lottery this year, it looks like the total ticket count is insanely high: 93,397 tickets, 11,334 applicants vying for 257 spots. That's through the lottery. Then I think there's 367 total runners, but 257 lottery spots available. So if you have one ticket, your odds are 0.3%. And that would be like 14 people getting selected. If you have two tickets, your odds are not much better, 0.6%. 4 tickets, 1.2%. 8 tickets, 2.4%. 16, 4.8, 32, 9.4, 64 tickets, you have a 17.9% chance, which
it's where our boy Chaz is at.
According to Chaz, is way lower than it was last year.
According to Chaz, it's roughly 10% lower than where it was last year.
And if you have 128 tickets, you have a 32.6% chance of getting drawn. 256 tickets, you have a 54.6% chance. That's just still crazy. You basically have a 1 in 2 chance if you have 256 tickets.
256.
There's 45 people with 256 tickets.
Dude, what's crazy is like the next part of that's crazy is the 54% chance, right? That means that the 45, for me, the part of that really sucks, there's 45 applicants that have that many, right? According to this, the math shakes out. only 25 of them will get, like, that's 20 people that have 256 tickets that are just like, yeah, man, fuck off. See you next year. Like, that's absolutely insanity. Like, that's crazy. Like, that basically guarantees that these numbers will be like, so right now this year you have 5 applicants with 512 tickets. This is telling me they know they will have more than 5 people next year, or they're betting on, the odds will tell you that they'll have more people next year with 512 tickets than they have this year.
Yeah.
And according to this, there's going to be some poor schmuck that has more than 512 tickets next year.
Yeah, they're likely to have over 20 runners with 512 tickets next year. And that's if you have 512 tickets, you have a 79.5% chance of getting drawn.
Yeah.
So if you add in the waitlist spots to the mix, then it increases the number of spots to 332. And that increases your odds. And there's usually pretty good movement on the wait list. So, I don't know how deep it goes, but I'm thinking if you're 30 or 40 deep on the wait list, you have a pretty good chance of getting into the race. But your odds are increased. You have 1 ticket is 0.4%, 2 tickets 0.8%, 4 is 1.6%. So it's not too much better if you're in the lower end of the ticket count. But it does start getting better the higher you get. 8 tickets is 3.2%, 16, 6.4%, 32, 12.3%, 64 is 23.2%, and 128 is 41%, 256 is 65.2%, and then 87.9% for 512. So good luck to everyone. and the Hardrock lotteries also this weekend, and I haven't seen the odds for Hardrock yet, but Hardrock I think is probably even harder for first-time runners to get in than Western States. The reason for that is that Hardrock has 2 separate lotteries. They have a lottery for the people that have finished the race before, which are like the veterans, and then they have a separate lottery for the new runners. So, and yeah, the odds are better, I think, if you're a veteran, but you also get a ticket count. It doubles every time you do, or every year actually, your ticket count doubles. But you have to do those qualifiers, and Hardrock does not have many qualifiers, and they are all hard AF.
They are hard.
Yes. So, all right, let's jump into the 3 T's. And this week we're going to talk about the best trail shoes for us and why.
You know what's funny is I think I've only gone through 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I've only tried like 5 pairs of running shoes. My first ever trail shoes were New Balance Fresh Foams. And I love those motherfuckers back in the day. Fresh Foams, they were awesome. But that's not what the question is. The question is, what is the best ones?
Well, you can talk about your history too. What led you to your shoes?
Yeah, so Fresh Foams is just, it's like, when you like, you go from the road to the trail. I was running in Fresh Foams on the road. And then you're like, oh, look, there's Fresh Foam Trail. Like, I'll go to those. And then you run into those for a little while. And I was like, and then all of a sudden you find out about these big fucking clouds that you can run on your feet. And you're like, you get introduced to Hoka. And I remember jumping right into Hoka mock baits, I think. I mean, these things were fucking thick boys. I mean, they were just so stupid thick. They were so comfortable.
Cheeky.
And then after that, it was the Speed Goats, and I love the Speed Goats. Man, I love those things to death. But I mean, like, it just got to where I can blow out a pair of Speed Goats with less than 100 miles on them. Like I was destroying speed goats. So I was like, all right. And then it's like, all right, well, you got to go to someone with a bigger toe box. And then I ran under this idea of like, well, oh wait, I lied. So before I jumped to that, I did try topos. And I thought I was like, I just, man, like I did not like the topos. They were just, I did not like those. And then jumped to ultra. Really liked the ultras first ones I did. I now kind of wonder if ultras aren't some of the issue I have with my quad now from running downhill in ultras. I wonder if they're not like part of why my quad is like just kind of permanently destroyed now. But I will say, and like this is, dude, I'm telling you, man, I ran some miles trail and road. Those Mount the Coasts are fucking awesome.
Cool.
They are awesome. Like if you are looking for a shoe that gives you the toe box of an ultra, but you have the
heel rise,
the stack, the rise of a Hoka, dude. Those fucking Mount the Coasts are super comfortable. They are crazy comfortable. I was getting some pretty good miles on the trail ones. I was getting some really good miles in on them, and then I got sick again. But dude, they are fucking God. They are comfortable. And the one thing it is kind of interesting about the trail Mount the Coast versus the road Mount the Coast is the road Mount the Coast. You tie the top, but there's the drawstring. And oh, by the way, for all the old school Hoka folks out there, you remember the old school Hokas used to have the speed lace. And these Mount the Coast have that speed lace. And on the road ones, it's a tie at the top and then the speed lace at the bottom. On the trail ones, it's speed laces at the top and the bottom. And I haven't got to play with it a ton yet. But it is kind of nice where if you're like, you know what, I just want a little bit extra up here, but I want it loose down here, or vice versa. I want this, want that. Dude, you can dial those things in pretty nice. You can get them dialed. So anyways, right now, my go-to trail shoe is that Mount the Coast. It is. That is a pretty fucking nice shoe, man. That is pretty nice. And I from my understanding, they're coming out with like a hybrid trail road shoe. Okay. If I remember seeing their website right, I'm not going to lie. There is a strong chance I buy those fuckers too.
Nice.
So
that's cool. Yeah, glad you kind of found something. So when I first, I ran cross country in high school, and then I didn't really get back into running until my early 30s. But when I did get back into running, I had shin splints really bad and I couldn't shake them. So I started running in minimalist footwear, and it solved the shin splint problem. It created some other foot pains and stuff, but I didn't have shin splints. So I stuck with the minimalist footwear for a while. I ran in Vibram 5 Fingers. I ran in Morel trail gloves. I ran in Vivo Barefoot, Neo Trails, I think. And then I did a 50 miler in those Neo Trails and had a top of foot pain like so bad. So then I'm like, oh, I need to get something with some cushion for the longer races. And that's what took me to Ultra, because it's really the best of all worlds. You have the wide toe box. For me, it was the best of all worlds. Wide toe box. It's flat from front to back. There's no raise in the heel, and it has cushion. I started in the superiors, but in my first 100 miler, that's minimal cushion for ultras. My first 100 miler, I got a bad foot pain and had to limp for a long time and timed out at mile 74. So I went to the Lone Peaks, and I think Lone Peaks are really like my sweet spot for cushion. Don't get me wrong, my feet are hurting pretty bad after after like anything more than a 50 miler after, like a 100 miler, I would say my feet are hurting pretty bad just because it's not, the stack height is not like your Hokas and all this, it's not max cushion. It's not a max cushion shoe. It's like moderate cushion, but it's light and I love that. And it just works for me. And I've tried some other shoes. I really wanted, the Temps to work. And those had a bigger stack height in the Ultra, but it was too much stack height for me. And it just didn't feel right on my feet and led to injuries. I also tried the Topos like you, the Topos, and I really wanted those to work, but they just didn't feel right on my feet. They caused basically like a hot spot for my whole foot. I don't know. It was just weird. So, I'm just stuck with Lone Peaks for at least a decade now. And I use Lone Peaks for even my weekday runs where I run on pavement. I use them for my trail runs. I use them for everything. So yeah, Ultra Lone Peaks are my go-to trail shoe.
It's interesting one of the other things, I did try the Temps too from Ultra. And it's kind of funny to see there is something about the Temps and the Topos that I both did not like. And it's like it's the cloth that they use. It's like, they're not meshy shoes, or they're almost like this like 1980s, like tennis shoe, like fabric. Like they're overly like fabricy. And I just remember like they weren't comfortable when they got wet. They had they were not great shoes. I agree. Yeah. I didn't like either one of those.
No. And, every time they make modifications on Lone Peaks, I'm like, oh, they made it worse. They made it worse. I'm going to get in a different shoe. And every time I try a different shoe, I end up going back to Lone Peaks. So,
never leave the Lone Peak.
Yeah. I guess I just got to stay with what works. So, all right. Well, best of luck to everyone that's in the Western states or the Hardrock Lotteries this weekend. Hope you get in, and we'll be back next week. Kind of have an announcement coming up. I'm not going to get into it too much right now, but we'll talk about it next week. But all right, cool. Well, everyone, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
See ya.
Take us out.
Take us out.